Hey everyone, I'm Sima,
Andrea.
And I'm Gabby.
and we're here today to talk about responsive return planning. At Education Elements, we put together a quick guide to help your team work through responsive planning. When there's so much ambiguity going on and there's so many unknowns and everything is changing, it's hard to plan already for school year 2020-2021, but we know it's necessary. So we hope that you can follow these 4 steps to learn that it's not that scary.
It's not that scary.
It's really not. The first step is to think through identifying your knowns and unknowns. I know even in my personal life, I like to anticipate what's going to happen next, and I worry about all of the different things that could go wrong rather than dealing with the things that I know for sure. So in the first step of responsive planning, it's important to identify what we know, so the facts, versus our unknowns, which are opinions and assumptions. That's going to help you build out the scenarios in step 2.
Exactly. There are all these possibilities, and there are a lot of people that are talking about different types of constraints that we could put on our schools and on our students and our staff to make sure that we ensure safety and the health of and wellness of our entire communities. What we are coalescing around is a concept of scenarios. There are 3 different scenarios that we hope that you're able to use as design ideas and possibilities. One is with no physical distancing in schools. One is with physical distancing, but we're still in schools. And the third option or third scenario is where we're having remote learning for next year. If teams have 3 different scenarios to plan for, they can start thinking about what does success look like in each of those scenarios? How can instruction continue? How does staffing continue? And what are the other types of operations and modes within our schools that may need to shift regardless of the scenario?
As you build out these scenarios, you're going to recognize there's some consistencies and trends, no matter what information comes your way, no matter what scenario you actually have to implement come fall 2020. And so as you get those trends, you can then move into a step of prioritization. It's really easy to get excited about everything and want to implement everything right away. It's also a really quick way to limit buy-in and have some employee and student lack of engagement. And so if you go through a prioritization activity, like a prioritization matrix, you're able to define sort of the things that you want to implement right away in your first sprint. And then remember, it's an iterative process. And so what you prioritize in fall 2020 can be iterated on as new information comes in.
Yeah, and as you think through prioritizing, it's important to communicate out to your community as soon as you know the information and when you have it. So 2 things we like to consider are dependencies and commitment timelines. And that helps you clarify when you're going to make a decision or when you're going to have more information. So we encourage you to make a plan to communicate that out to your community as well.
If you want to learn more, download our guide. Part 1 is out now and part 2 is coming very soon.